If you're spending thousands of dollars a month on your Google or Meta advertising, you need to be using the right credit card to make sure that you're also maximizing the cashback or rewards you can get off those credit cards. Last year, MapLabs managed over $10 million in Google Ads, and one of the best things that we advise clients to do is to use the right credit card for their spend to make sure that they get that value in return, in addition to the results that they get on their ads. Credit card rewards can be used for cash back to pay for advertising. They can be used for travel expenses. There's a lot of great benefits you can have by using the right credit card when you're buying ads on search engines or on social media sites. And as a business owner myself, I think about these things all the time. What are the little ways that we can get just even a few dollars back to put back into the business? And so my number one recommended credit card for 2026 for businesses who spend at least a few $1,000s a month on their advertising is the Chase Sapphire Business Reserve credit card. This credit card is incredible right now with a sign-up bonus that's worth about $1,500 in cash back value. It is the most expensive credit card on this list at $795 per year. But if you spend $20,000 within the first 3 months, you get a 150,000 point bonus. On the Chase portal, if you look at the cash value of that point redemption, that's worth about $1,500. So if you're spending at least $20,000 every 3 months, this card is a no-brainer. You can easily pay for the card just with the sign-up bonus itself. The best feature of this card, though, is that you get 3 points per dollar with no cap, meaning that you can get 3 points per dollar into infinity. If you spend $1 million a year, you're going to get 3 million points. And just rough math, every 100,000 points is worth about $1,000. So if you're spending significant amounts of money on your advertising, this card is literally a slam dunk. It pays for itself with the bonus, and the 3 points per dollar, if you were to convert that into cashback rewards, is an easy way to pay for the card and to get money back into your marketing budget. Now, to be honest, I don't recommend using cash back for these points. There's much higher values of redemption when you use them on travel and in other scenarios. So if your business goes to conferences and trade shows and needs to buy flights and hotels, the point value is actually even higher if you were to redeem them for those purposes. But if you were looking at it just purely from a cash back perspective, it's like the slam dunk of all credit cards. So that's my number one choice, is the Chase Sapphire Reserve Business Card. Check the link in the description. My number two recommended business credit card would be the American Express Gold Business Credit Card. This card is much cheaper than the last one that I just mentioned at $395 per year. And if you spend $15,000 within the first 3 months, you're going to get a 200,000 point bonus. Unlike the Chase points, the cash value of points on AMEX is a little bit lower, but that 200,000 point, if you were to convert it to a cash equivalent, would pay for the card itself as well. As mentioned in my other recommendation for the Chase card, same thing applies. If you use the points for travel, on flights, in hotels, the value of those points usually is greater than the cash back value of them, but it's still a great incentive. Unlike the Chase card, though, the American Express card, you're going to get 4 points for every dollar you spend on advertising, but it's capped at the first $150,000 a year. So basically, if you're going to spend less than $150,000 a year, this card might actually be the number one to use because you're going to get 4 points per dollar and the card fee is less. So these are things to think about when you're looking at which credit cards to put your advertising spend on. And if you are interested in signing up for the American Express Business Gold Card, check our link in the bio below. We will get a little referral bonus if you sign up, but if you don't, no big deal. And last but not least, the third business credit card that I recommend businesses to consider if they're spending money on search engines or on social media advertising is another Chase product, Chase Inc. Business Preferred Card. It's different than the Sapphire Reserve Card in that it has a very, very low annual fee. It's $95 a year. So it's the cheapest card on this list that I'm sharing with you today. So this card is the best in the list if you don't spend a lot of money on Google or on Meta ads, like maybe $100,000 a year or $50,000 a year on ads. This is probably the perfect card for you. It's the Chase Inc. Business Preferred Card. You'll get 100,000 points bonus if you spend $8,000 in the first 3 months of signing up. And again, on Chase, the cash value of about 100,000 points is about $1,000. So this card costs you $95 to get, but you can get $1,000 in point equivalent by just spending $8,000 in the first 3 months of signing up. As a kicker, this card also gives you 3 points per dollar, but also has a limit that you only get 3 points per dollar for the first $150,000 a year that you spend on advertising. So this card could work really well if you're spending up to $150,000 a year, similar to the AMEX Gold Card, but because it has a lower fee, is probably a little bit more advantageous. There's also some differences in the types of travel partners that Chase works with. So again, technically the best way to use these points is on travel, on flights, on hotels, on other expenses your business may have that you could use these points for. But if you were to think about them in terms of cash value, the Chase points would be the #1 program out there today. So those are my top 3 credit cards. Again, as a recap, Chase Sapphire Business Card is my #1, especially if you're spending more than 150,000 points per year. It's a no-brainer because you have no cap on the 3 points per dollar. You also get the best overall sign-up bonus at 150,000 Chase points, which is worth about $1,500 in cash value. My #2 recommended card is the AMEX Gold Business Card, where you're going to get 4 points per dollar on the first 150,000 you spend per year. But AMEX points are worth a little bit less in terms of cash value than Chase. But at $375 a year, it's half the cost of the Chase Sapphire Business Card and gives you comparable benefits. And then my #3 card is the Chase Inc. Business Preferred Card, where you're going to get the same 3 points per dollar like on the Sapphire Reserve Card in the same program, but you're capped. You can only get 3 points per dollar on the first 150,000 a year. But it's a $95 a year card fee on the Chase Inc. Business Preferred, and that sign-up bonus of 100,000 points is literally worth $1,000 if you were to redeem it as a statement credit. So those are my 3 recommended cards. Depending on what you spend, depending on how you want to use the points, can change which one is right for you. Those are my tips on how to just get even a little bit more value out of the dollars you're already spending on advertising. At MapLabs, we manage over $10 million a year in Google Ads. If you're looking for a trusted partner to help you to run your ad campaigns, check out maplabs.com. We provide a completely free analysis of your ads account if you're looking for ideas and recommendations on how to maximize the effectiveness of your Google advertising.